Hi, Cancer. This is Lost Twin Tarot. My name is Colette. If you haven't viewed me before, Cancer, this is your weekly reading for the week of April the 1st through the 7th. Cancer, when I was meditating on your cards, I was getting a few different things. We are getting ready to go into that Mercury retrograde in the beginning of the month. Um, and I feel like when I did your monthly reading, you actually had a good monthly reading. You're going to be, um, I feel you're going to be kind of starting something completely new. I feel like you are getting ready you're passing something that was a big change in your life, maybe over the past few months, especially in March. And I feel like now, in April now it's kind of the start of it, the beginning phase of it. I was getting like you're moving past something, possibly with children for some of you. And if it is with children, that's going to be a big focus, for a lot of you. Um, and I feel like you could be, um, kind of like making slower decisions when it comes to like choices and things. Um, some of you possibly could be actually moving to a different place to live. Um, I feel like with that Mercury retrograde is that you're going to be um, kind of doing some more contemplation. Just kind of taking things slower. Um, choosing wisely. Um, just making decisions carefully. Um, I feel like children is a big focus in this for you for some of you. But I do feel like there is something this is kind of like the calm after the storm. This is for sun, moon, and rising positions as well. You just take the pieces that resonate and leave the rest. And let's see what we have coming in for you. So on the bottom of the deck, you do have the Death card. So you have the Four of Swords, the Eight of Wands, the Eight of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles, the Six of Wands, and the King of Cups. Alright, and you have the Moon on the bottom of the clarification deck. You have the Eight of Wands, the Devil, the Knight of Wands, the Ace of Pentacles, the Hermit, and the Sun. Oh boy. Love to see the Sun. And we'll do some further clarifications, Cancer, for you. I apologize if I seem like sniffly or anything like that. I had an allergy test earlier this morning, so I'm a little bit like still like just kind of shaky and nummy and hivey. Okay, so we have the Eight of Wands and the Four of Swords. Um, the Four of Swords is really talking about you know, you're doing a lot of, I feel like you're doing meditating, you could be praying, whatever you're doing to really do that self rejuvenation, that self-caring. This is also about a blessing as well, after, that's coming in. That's kind of what is happening. This is a church, this is a blessing that is happening inside of this church, and I feel like that's kind of what is happening in your life. I feel like this is almost what kind of happened to you in the past is that it's almost like it felt like you were heartbroken to the point where you almost feel like um like you could have almost felt like you had died in a way. Like it hurts so bad. And I feel like that's kind of like you sort of laying there, like you just felt like you just didn't know how you were going to come out of this. But with the Eight of Wands, I feel like now you're starting to get a little bit of spark back. Eight of Wands is, a turnaround for the better. It's a quick turnaround. And now you're starting to get that energy back. This lady, she's on this mop, she's on this broom, she's flying high, she's kind of like getting off and she's taking off. And I feel like that's kind of what you're doing now. And, at a point, I feel like you were just laying here like lifeless, like thinking, when is this going to end? When is it going to end? And now I think you're starting to realize in April, like, okay, now it's starting to actually end. It is starting to, change. I actually can start to see that light. Like, I'm starting to actually feel better after this, long, painful journey that I've been on. And, you start with that, darkness, and then you have the sun at the end of the, at this end part of your reading here. So you have the Eight of Wands again, and you have the Devil there. And, I feel like this could say a lot of things. You see this Devil card here, it has all those, vices there. You see cigarettes, you see alcohol, you see, pills, you see all those vices there, all the bad things. And I feel like what this could be saying is that this could be any vice that you could have been attached to. This could have been a person. This could have been a workaholic. This could have been a bad working situation. This could have been literally any of those things, alcohol, cigarettes, any of those toxic things that you were, around. And I feel like that Eight of Wands is that you were literally, moving away from that, and you had to move away from it fast, because if you realized at one point, if you did not move away from it, then you were never going to get away from it. And this could have been you, with your significant other. You realized that both of you had to move away from this. You and your children had to move away from this, or maybe you alone had to move away from this. But whatever it was that you realized that you were in a bad area or bad situation, bad lifestyle, and you did have to realize that for the better, for your own safety, for your own soul, for your own health, you had to, you know, quickly get up and rapidly move. Eight of Wands is about quick movement, and you did have to actually do this, otherwise things were never going to get better in your life. Um, and maybe even with that Four of Swords, maybe um some of these vices could have, eventually could have been hurting your health. They could have led to something very painful, and that's another reason why for some of you. Next, you have the Eight of Pentacles and the Knight of Wands. And I feel like what this is saying that, the Eight of Pentacles is all about, you working on something. This can be you actually working, at work. This could be about work. But this is also you working on yourself. This is you, just taking your time and enjoying your everyday things that you do. This can be about you working on a project. This can be you taking care of yourself, practicing that self-care. This is about you just getting back to everyday things and you receiving the rewards that you deserve. And with that, Knight of Wands, I feel like some in the first week of that Mercury retrograde, that Knight of Wands, this isn't like your typical Knight of Wands. This one is a little bit he looks a little bit annoying. He's not like the typical one. This one looks a little bit he looks like a little bit annoying on this card. So I feel like somebody could be kind of coming in from the past. It might not necessarily be a person, but it could be something that does remind you of a person, or it could be a trigger. Whether it's a person, a place, a thing, or somebody brings up something and it is kind of can throw you off. So I feel like I would maybe watch for that in that first week. Um, and I'm like getting choked up as I'm saying that. So just be, mindful of that. Next, you have the King of Pentacles and the Ace of Pentacles. And what I feel like this is saying is that you're really focused on getting your stability back, Cancer. I feel like with the King of Pentacles, it's that you're getting the you're getting an opportunity again, or you're seeing an opportunity with that Ace of Pentacles, is that here's an opportunity to nourish, the garden that's typically on that Ace of Pentacles, to take this opportunity to nourish your life, nourish this garden, nourish this opportunity, and take it and build it and create it into something that's going to grow and be long lasting for you. Whether this is a relationship, I don't feel like this, maybe this is a relationship that you're already in, I feel like it would be. and now it's going to become more stable. I feel like this would be a relationship that you would already be in. And now you, because you're away from this, you know, toxic environment, maybe it was a family of one of yours or whatever. And now that you're away from that, now you can become more stable, as a couple. Now you're away from that, and now you both can become more stable. You can focus on each other more. Same if it was a work environment for, one or two of you. Now you can focus and, have this opportunity to actually grow, become more stable as a family. Whatever it is for you, take it how it resonates. I feel like you're finally taking that and finding more stability. This can also be, mental stability as well too. Um, Next you have the Hermit and the Six of Wands. And, I really like this because I feel like the Six of Wands, it's all about, a victory. It's also about, you know, taking notice. People are taking notice of you and taking notice of your achievements. The Hermit is showing that she's doing that self-care, and you're doing that, and people are noticing that you are feeling better. She's taking a bath in there. Doing she's doing everything she's doing everything she can to, nurture herself and to take care of herself. And by that, you're starting to feel better. He's out in the world. He's feeling, like he's a winner. He's feeling victorious. And people are taking notice of that. And I feel like you are doing the right thing. You are feeling happier. You are feeling like you're being more taken care of in situations. You have the King of Cups and the Sun. You could be dealing with a water sign, or this could represent you as well. Um, this definitely could represent you with the Cancer. Some people read this card as Scorpio, but it definitely can be a Cancer. This definitely can be you. And I feel like you're seeing the sun because you're starting to get more emotionally controlled. You're getting, the nurturing that you need. I feel like you could be nurturing yourself, or you could be in more of a nurturing environment. And you're starting to see that sun. You're starting to feel better. This definitely can represent, a relationship that you were already in, and you're moving away from a situation. If you are independent, I feel like you're starting to see the sun in your life, and you're just feeling more stable. You're not feeling like you're in this, you know, when you were in this choppy water, you feel like you can handle it now because it's choppy, but it's not turbulent, is what I'm trying to say. Let's see what else we have for you, Cancer. What's the Four of Swords with the Eight of Wands for Cancer? You have the Ten of Cups on the bottom, and you have the Two of Wands. And I feel like that's kind of what I was saying about how you were making plans, but this is like the early stages of plans. Um, this is like the early, beginning phases. You have plans that you want to do. This is like the very, very beginning phases of it. This can also represent, a partnership as well. You know, um, if you're with somebody, but whatever you're planning, whatever this is, it's going to lead to very good things. You have the Ten of Cups on the bottom. You're starting to see the healing process, I feel like. You're starting to see the turnaround, and you're starting to believe that things are becoming okay. Slowly but surely, things are getting better. You have the King of Swords on the bottom, and you have the Queen of Cups with that Devil and the Eight of Wands. And I feel like this is kind of what that's saying. When I was saying about the Eight of Wands and the Devil, and it's like you had to move away, you had to see, you had to get away from that situation. And I feel like that is, what was going on. You had to put yourself, and you had to put your emotions, kind of in that situation. It's almost like you felt like, well, maybe you were like back and forth with it, like you didn't want to, but you felt like you had to, and it was kind of like touch and go for a little bit. With that King of Swords on the bottom, it's like he has this giant shish kebab, but he's kind of like looking in that grill, like he's almost like, he's almost knows that there's an uncertainty on his face under there. Like, is something burning under there or something? It's almost like he's a little bit concerned. And I feel like that's kind of what that's saying. You know, I feel like you had to have a judgment. It's almost like your emotions with your heart and your head had to make a decision. That's what I'm trying to get out here. With the Eight of Pentacles and the Knight of Wands, you have the Hierophant on the bottom and you have the Wheel of Fortune. Now, I feel like what this is saying is that things are finally turning around for you. With the Knight of Wands, I feel like, things are turning around. And that Knight of Wands, you know, something annoying could come in every once in a while, but don't let this throw you off. You know, just keep believing that things are turning around. And they are going well. This is a happy, turnaround. This is a very good lucky card. She looks happy. Things are turning out. You can see that the shift is changing. So don't let any annoyances, if they are coming in that week, don't let that deter you because, triggers and things like that, they are going to happen to all of us. And just try to stay positive, especially if are trying to leave toxic people or toxic situations behind and, those things come up. You have the Six of Swords on the bottom. With the King of Pentacles and the Ace of Pentacles, you have the Queen of Pentacles. So this can be divine counterparts for some of you if you are involved with somebody already. I feel like if you are involved with somebody, then this looks very good for you. As a partnership, things are going to start moving smoothly for you. Your family life it will be in a much better position. Feel like you have an opportunity that things are just going to be much better. This turbulent time is going to, smooth out. Whatever this is, for those of you who are independent, I feel like that Queen of Pentacles is just saying to you that, your resources are going to start, getting better. An opportunity will be coming in for you. You're trying to just become more resourceful in a way as well. I feel like you're just trying to you're trying to just get all your ducks in a row. You're trying to do what's right. You're just trying to get back on your feet. And I feel like you definitely are. You're trying to get stable with that King of Pentacles. You have the Death card on the bottom. With that Six of Wands and that Hermit, you have the Page of Wands. And I feel like what this is saying is that you're seeing the transformation with that Death card. And that Hermit, that Six of Wands, you're doing the self-care. You're feeling, like you're getting the attention and you're starting to feel almost excited about this, and look at his face, it's almost like he doesn't even want to really say anything. He's kind of holding that, energy back. And you don't have to. If you're happy, Cancer, be happy. If you almost feel a little bit giddy in a way, be giddy. Don't feel like you have to hold this energy back because you know, maybe you're grieving about something. Or maybe you're still sad about, whatever it is you're going through, but it's okay if you feel like you should be happy. It's okay to always express those emotions. Even if you feel like you should be sad, about something, if for longer than you feel like you should be, maybe you feel like you should be sadder than and you feel like I should be sadder about this longer than I am, then by all means let the sadness go and let those feelings of happiness come out, because that means you're starting to heal. And you know even if you're happy one day and sad the next, it's all going to be a process. And let those feelings of happy come in, sad come in, happy, because it's kind of just like they're just all kind of flowing, rising, and they're all going to come in at different times. It all doesn't have to be like one continuous emotion. You have the Ten of Pentacles on the bottom. And lastly, you have the Knight of Pentacles with that King of Cups and the Sun, Cancer. And I feel like what this is saying is that, this has taken a while for you to get to this place. The Knight of Pentacles is a slow moving knight. I almost feel like he's pushing this like lawnmower, and it's kind of like the person in your neighborhood who's like, they have like the fast moving lawnmower and you have to push mow everything, and you like have and you envy them. You're like, wow, I wish I had like that lawnmower, but it's cost like, a 5 grand, and you're like just kind of like trying to get this one to get started. I know that's kind of how it is here, at my house. But and I feel like that's kind of what you're thinking. You are just, this has taken you a long time to get this, this sun position, to this feeling of, feeling good. But in a way, it's almost like are, sort of enjoying this process of things. It hasn't been easy, and it hasn't been all, it's definitely been a journey, and it has been painful, but at the same time, it's getting you to everything that you want. All these, little bits, or, all these little chapters and pages of the book that you're pretty much writing, called life, are all meant to be there. And I feel like that's kind of what you're starting to see. This is just another chapter in your life that you're writing. And I feel like, it's going to be the beginning of a good month for you. This is the first week, and I feel like it's going to be a good week for you for the beginning of April. Just watch for any, the retrograde, if any, miscommunication, or if any little triggers come in to throw you off. Just stay focused and content on doing what you're doing, and you'll have that sun at the end of that week there. But I'm going to leave it there for you, Cancer. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Thank you so much for viewing me today. If you like this reading, please like, share, and subscribe. I really appreciate it. Until then, enjoy your week, and I hope to see you at your next reading. Thanks. Bye.